Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. It's been a while. The last time we did a podcast was about a year ago to the day, almost. We are joined today by our newest member. Do you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Richard, but in some of the videos you'll hear people call me Smoke.
So Richard joined us about a year and a half ago now, May 2024.
May 2024.
The episode that we're going to cover today is Stirling Jail. We do have a podcast from last year which covers the same location. And Richard joined us for the first time on Stirling Jail.
Yep.
Kind of a funny wee situation.
It's just a happenstance, innit, how it came about.
Aye.
Really, it wasn't planned.
Aye.
Or...
Messaged me and went, "Where's my invite?" And I was just like, "I mean,
Here it is here.
come on, right? Like,
Here it is here, come on along.
Aye,
And I was
come
like,
along,
right,
so-
okay. Called my bluff on that then, didn't you?
Yep,
So
I did indeed. And he's been with us now since then, year and a half, which has been fantastic. We
Aye,
have had so many changes in the last year and a half. I spent years trying to get us to the point where we could live stream. And we were mentioning as we were walking down the high street here that we had done the Renfrew Town Hall. But the Renfrew Town Hall, we didn't get any evidence at it, so I never made an episode out of it. I genuinely just put the footage aside because I was just like, there's nothing. It was
even
surprising.
handheld.
Yeah,
Right, okay.
surprising. But we tried to do a live stream there. I couldn't get it work. And then you and me had a convo and you just went, "Oh, why don't you just do this?" And I was like, that can't be how simple it is.
Yeah, Shawnee's moniker before me joining the team was the tech guy, and then he was swiftly replaced within the first session as there's a new tech guy in town.
Listen, I'm the organizer. I don't need to do tech
take that.
anymore,
You take
right?
that
Right.
moniker. I'm quite happy being a
organise.
tech guy. Tech guy sounds cooler.
Aye.
Organizer sounds
Aye,
boring.
nobody wants to be the organizer.
No.
So yeah, year and a half. It's been interesting. We have done a lot of events. I mean, currently right now, there's one episode being released on YouTube, which is this episode,
Yeah,
which is why we're doing this
I just
podcast.
finished watching it last night.
Good episode.
Yeah, fantastic episode. There's
Yeah.
a really nice looking guy in it.
Aye.
It's me.
So we've got we're doing the podcast for that episode specifically, but we still have another, like, if I'm right, I've edited one other episode. I'm in the current process of editing another one, and then there's another 9 episodes I need to do. Plus, we have at least, when I went through the yearly plan, at least another 8 events to do. So it's going to be an eventful
Yeah, it's
year and
gonna
a
be
half,
good.
2 years.
gonna be
And then by the time we're even partway through all those videos releasing, we're going to be out filming even more events.
Yeah.
So because you're new,
Mm-hmm.
we already know this because we had this discussion beforehand. We have got some questions that were asked, and I figured for this one it'll be a nice wee, kind of like start point to just ask questions.
Yeah.
Get
I
you an
get
answer.
I get why you're doing it. I'm the new guy.
The new guy. Everybody wants to know the new guy's experience.
Everybody wants to know what the new
FNG.
guy's
Right,
experienced.
the FNG.
FNG.
So, from Kirsty, she asks, since joining the team, has your perspective on the paranormal changed?
So I when I was reading the questions quickly before kind of coming here, because Shawnee wasn't going to show me them before, and then I was like, well, come on, I need to kind of know what I'm going into. I kind of felt like I wanted to push this question off to the last because it's the one that I seen Kirsty put this question,
Yeah.
and I was like, that's really difficult to answer right now. I don't think it's a loaded question. I don't think that my perception has changed. I don't think enough has happened. I haven't hit the marker that I set before joining the team of clear validation that spirits exist and that we somehow can contact or, be in contact with them or even experience anything from them.
Yep.
I don't think that my perception of that has changed. What I would say is that there's been things that have happened and probably things in this that we're going to review that as a skeptic, like just to make people aware, as a skeptic, I come into the team based on evidence. I want to see evidence. And even though I'm skeptical, I'm open-minded. I want to experience something, because then for me, then I can either say yay or nay.
Yeah.
Have we hit that point
Yeah,
yet of
it's been
that?
stuck in the middle ground of.
I don't think there's enough that's happened that makes
Yeah.
me go, yeah, that was definitely paranormal.
But it's almost like some stuff's happened that you can't say, well, no.
There's stuff that is hard to argue from a logical,
Lapwing
skeptical
Lodge.
point. Lapwing Lodge, Stirling Old Town Jail. There is things that happen nearly on every investigation that makes me kind of go, what? How?
Yeah.
What? Why?
What is the possibility? How is that even
And
physically
then
possible?
my brain goes into full breakdown mode. Right? How do I try and break this down into a logical sense? Because at the end of the day, I don't think some of the things I think I can definitely argue. And I'm not on I never ever wanted to join the team or come along to be that person who argues.
Yeah.
My mind is open to experience it, but I have to take things with a pinch and
Yeah.
be like, right, I want to look for the reasonable explanation for things, but not everything
Can
that
be
I've
explained.
experienced has a
Yeah,
reasonable
yeah.
explanation.
Yeah.
And that is the problem, and that's the reason why that's it's such a good question.
But it's a difficult one.
But
to
it's a
answer.
difficult one for me to answer, because I don't have a yay or nay answer to it yet. I would say my perception hasn't changed, but the experiences I've had have definitely shaped my mind into thinking, I don't know whether I can argue that or
Yeah. So
for or against.
yeah, just for clarity, if I'm a lot and clear my throat, I'm sick, so I might clear my throat quite a lot during this, and that's going to be annoying if you have to listen to it. But
Even more so now that he's pointed it out, because probably we could have all ignored it, but now he's pointed it
I know,
out.
but I'm
People
aware
who
of it.
suffer
Aye.
from misophonia, we really apologise, which is me, because now all I'm going to hear is that.
Well, so this question wasn't aimed at me, and it's not one of the ones that we've got that's a joint question, but it's one of those ones that's funny because, like, I've been doing a lot of the TikTok stuff recently and answering people's questions.
The way you said TikTok stuff like the old man.
stuff.
I've been on the TikTok.
Aye. And people ask me about my belief in the paranormal, and it's one of those ones of I got into this because I had a massive love growing up of ghost hunting TV shows, and for me,
and horror movies.
aye, and horror movies, obviously. You know, by the way, fit check. It's all Hell on Shirts. Sorry, I just my mind went absolutely blank there. For some reason I was like Hollywood. Hell on Shirts, really good merch, really good clothes, by the way. If you
Not a
like horror
sponsor.
stuff. Not a sponsor. Could be.
So I don't know why we're shouting them out.
Could be. Because I like their stuff. You know, maybe they'll give me free stuff. But anyway, so I get asked that question a lot, and I always say to people, no, yes, maybe. Like, I can't even solidify an answer. I'll say to folk maybe because I'm the same as you. I haven't had an experience that's made me go, like, I think the big one for everybody would be physically seeing someone stood there that just gone.
Yeah.
That's going to make you go, all right. Or you're going to be like, what did I eat? If I ate something, that was a bit weird. But I've had the two audio experiences that you're aware of. And for me, like, we've got mates who, one of them, he also try and rationalise it and come up with a reason for it. And I'm just like, there is no reason for it. That is the problem with it.
I think if you naturally have an inquisitive brain, you instantly look for
An explanation.
anything
Yeah.
that can happen,
Yeah.
that there should be an explanation for it.
Yep.
But your inquisitive part of your brain also goes, well, it could be.
Yeah.
It could be.
Uh-huh.
It could be a ghost. And how do you know it isn't?
Yep.
And that's the problem that I have. That's the Venn diagram that I experience in my brain of like non-paranormal, paranormal. What the fuck is right in the middle?
And you're just like teetering on
just,
this.
yeah, like I'm always jumping from
WTF,
where am I in the middle? Was that a paranormal thing? Was it not a paranormal thing?
So the other question you got is,
But sorry, just before you lead on to the next question, I wanted to say something about the thing where you comment on, like, you're getting comments asking about that. I also feel like there was recently some YouTube videos that went up and obviously some comments that went up, and I think that we naturally just go to look at like these comments and be defensive about the product, which is the video.
Yeah.
And when people start saying, "Oh, this is a load of rubbish," and this isn't, you know, evidence of the paranormal. We're not putting that up there as evidence of the paranormal or evidence that would go against the paranormal. We're literally just collecting the evidence. So we feel a sense of defenseness against the product rather than actually whether you believe or don't believe. We're no...
Yeah. I suppose in the sense it's like I changed a lot of our categories recently on like social media to like arts and entertainment because I'm like, well, it is entertainment at the end of the day because the question is always put to the public is, do you believe?
Yeah, it's what you believe, what you perceive. Yeah, we're not trying to change your opinion.
Yeah, and I've had some people obviously who've came on and they've put up comments about like, you know, like you said, oh, this is a hawk of rubbish and this and that. And I'm just like, listen, you don't have to believe us. Yeah. Of course you don't. But all I can do is tell you, this is the structure, this is the setup, and this is how we do it. Yeah. There is nothing that we do to cause the audio that we record or the things that we have
we're
happen.
not picking out things either. Like we don't have somebody at the back slightly coughing every now and again because they're sick and then trying to point that out as evidence of paranormal. Yeah, we are a team that even what I've experienced out the past year and a half of calling out whenever you make a noise, like religiously. Like you think it was your tummy that rumbled, you call it out just on the off chance that it was your tummy that rumbled. Just because then when it makes the review a hell of a lot easier.
Plus if you're reviewing somebody else's footage that you weren't in that group, you're never going to memorise every single moment someone might have, like you said, coughed.
Like you're reviewing stuff a year later, so you can't remember somebody waited until you turned the camera off and then went, by the way, when we were recording that, I accidentally kicked a stone and that's the thing that we heard.
Yeah, like, exactly. It's like say it whilst you're on camera.
Say it whilst you're on camera. Like
that, you know, it's that kind of leads into like the whole joke aspect of the name that we have.
Whisper.
WSPR is supposed to be pronounced
Whisper.
Yeah, right? Don't whisper. We always say WSPR, but it's Whisper.
Yeah.
West Scotland Paranormal Research, and it's because we've been previously in teams that have, not you, because exactly, this is your first experience, but most of us within the group have been in teams where whispering was a major problem. I mean, even my first ever ghost hunt.
But it makes sense because these cameras are so powerful that pick up audio for free doors down. And if you've got a team separated by half a building and somebody down the far end of the building and even the acoustics of the building maybe set up to try and... We seen it in Stirling Old Town Jail. In the very centre of the building,
that's wild, that.
It picks up audio from the outside of the building and then puts it into the middle. Yeah. Like they actually said it was a design feature in the building because they weren't supposed to talk. So it was so the guards could hear. If you're doing one side of the building and I've got a camera standing in this one specific spot and you lean into somebody and say, I'm really hungry. Like that camera's going to pick that up and then you potentially, when you're reviewing, you're like, why is a ghost talking about being hungry? What's weird about that? I mean, and you're like, that sounds like Richard saying he's hungry.
So, yeah, exactly. And yeah, just through general experience of other teams doing it and then reviewing on the spot their audio, and then you're sitting there going, that was you. You said this. And they're like, oh, yeah.
Just don't whisper.
Yeah, it's just don't whisper. Simple as that.
Yeah.
We went through a system of like hand gestures and being like, you know, footsteps that direction. That works. That works because we had the piece of evidence that the team for ages was arguing about, and I was like, I know exactly what this is. I was like, this is one of our team members saying this, and they were like, no, surely not. And I was like, where was this? And they were like, here. And I was like, good thing I had a camera set up, and there was one of the team members whispering, going, did you hear that? And I'm just like, whisper, don't whisper. Did you hear that?
Once human reference. Did you hear that?
Did you hear that? All right, other questions, right? Have you got a preference to how you investigate, and if so, has it changed since you first joined the team?
My preference on investigations from the get-go has always been to get a live stream going.
Yeah.
I feel like that's my baby.
Yeah.
As part of the team, like as you said when you were first getting things done, you were always trying to, you know, like set up a live stream, and I feel like I came in, solved that problem for you.
On the first day.
Yeah. Oh,
not to your horn.
Not to toot my own and pat myself on my back. No, like, it seems to be my baby. Like, it's 100% my baby. I like that part of it.
Yeah.
So when I know that we're going to places that don't allow live streaming or stuff like
Wi-Fi, it becomes like...
Yeah, it's like, we're in 2025 and we're struggling to get Wi-Fi in this location. But, I mean, I like the live stream aspect because it's not just like my baby. I like the interaction that the team have with audience. Like it doesn't even necessarily need to be me sitting doing it at the screen. I don't want to sit down at the screen. I want to be investigating. But knowing that there's people interacting with an audience, knowing that there's other people who could potentially be clipping audience for us and generating, and I know it sounds ridiculous, generating content.
Yeah.
But it does save you a lot of trouble, because if we have a 5-hour live stream and we have 13 clips for that of people saying weird orb or weird sound, or that's content, but also at the same time it's evidence that we could potentially then review later on and be like, we never had to go through 5 hours of evidence to try and find that one wee thing that maybe somebody picked up on just by watching a live stream. So I had no previous experience on how to do an investigation. I picked up everything on the first night in Stirling Old Town Jail, and I think there's even a point in the episode where you ask me if I would feel confident to go into a room by myself, and I'm like, well,
Do you think that's a funny bit? It's like, but this night's just begun. Like, there's
load. I think that's the excuse I use. There's plenty of time left for that.
Yeah.
Please don't ask me. But there's plenty of time left. And then I think what I also said was, like, I don't know really what I'm doing. I'm picking up my cues for what you and Maxine were doing. Like, I was learning on the spot as we go.
Funnily enough, for us, we were just like, man, you're kind of natural at this, because quite a lot of time when people come out, they'll tend to... It's nervous. It's like it's anxiety of asking questions in a room where there is nobody there.
I'm not a nervous person.
But for other people's experiences, it can be like that, where they're like, "Oh, sorry, my brains went blank. I don't know what to ask."
And maybe standing in the back of the corner, just watching things going. I'm not like that. I'm like, hands in. Let's get fully involved in that situation.
So this one's I think this is the one you said was kind of loaded potentially. But before joining the team, what was your impression, opinion of paranormal investigations, and has that changed?
I said from the get-go that I don't believe in ghosts.
Yeah.
I don't believe in the paranormal to a certain extent. If we're talking about ghosts specifically, I believe in, obviously, aliens, because I think that it would be really silly for us to believe that we're the only intelligent life form in the universe. I don't believe in ghosts, or that they're able to contact us, or that we're able to somehow contact them. I'm skeptical, but has my mind somewhat been warped by how many investigations I've been on now, and the excitement of going on investigations, and the possibility that one day something appears in front of me and gives me that Ghostbusters moment, floats right through me. And it's, even though that generally, and we've talked about it before in previous podcasts and previous videos, a personal experience of something in that magnitude would be enough for me.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be evidence. Like, I know we want to capture evidence. We want to film it. We want to at least get audio, visual. But if there was a fully fledged spectral being in front of me that walked through me and I could not explain it, that's enough for me to go, right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hanging up your boots.
The Venn diagram opens up and it's like, what the fuck? Like, it's just both of them are what the fuck, and both of the other ones what the fuck.
See, I have a question then, and it's not one of the questions on this, but
oh, great.
When we're talking about this, right, it just makes me think of Lapwing Lodge. The last time we went with Maxine.
Well, that's not this episode. You're going to have to invite me back for Lapwing Lodge episode.
No, but
gatekeep that content.
Well, true.
No,
true,
I'm just kidding. Go.
Technically, right, we could slightly gatekeep it.
No. You have to say it now. You can't know.
Well, sure. Okay, so
subscribe to our Patreon and you'll find it there. Question. I'm just kidding.
Just subscribe to us on YouTube, because I don't post anything on Patreon yet, right?
No, I'm the only sub on Patreon, and I'm never getting my money back.
We'll get there eventually.
And he'll get there eventually enough on the bank statement to take the money out of Patreon and then hand it back to me for how much I've wasted on it. There's nothing on the Patreon.
Listen, I'll stick up some bloopers if you want.
No.
You're in them all anyway.
I know.
Anyway, so
Mainly me.
no, it was just like, so Lapwing Lodge is one
Mm-hmm.
of these places that every single time we do it, there's experiences, and the question I then have to ask you is, of all the audio experiences you had at Lapwing, what do you think?
I think there's such a weird building. I've never experienced anything like that before in my life, and it's so hard. Like you're obviously going through reviewing the evidence of Lapwing Lodge. You've watched that episode because I seen you finishing the last bit, the kind of cut out the outro. So I know that you've seen the whole thing. So you know that there's clearly loads of auditory things.
I just mean even the ones that you heard.
No, I know, and I'm getting to that.
Aye.
But you've had a recent review. It for me, Lapwing was a year ago.
Aye.
And it's crazy.
Yeah.
The amount of auditory things that happened that night, and also crazy how linked they are, i.e. Marco Polo.
Aye, the Marco Polo.
That's kind of crazy to me. There's really, if you're surrounded by everybody, if you're surrounded by absolutely everybody in the team, and you start calling out Marco, and then for some weird reason out of like the furthest corner away in the building that could be where nobody's there, and you start hearing Polo, and it's so faint, and you're like, no.
Yeah.
No, like how do you explain that? And that's another one of those things where it harkens back to, I suppose, Kirsty's question: has my opinion changed somewhat? Of
that's why you're in the middle of the Venn diagram now.
Yeah, it's
you're just like right.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm smack bang in the middle. I still don't believe, but there's I think you have to. I think if you're like me, where you're skeptical, but you have an open mind, you have to teeter, because just always saying no, then you're not open-minded.
You're not actually a skeptic.
You're just looking for a reason not to believe, and
exactly.
I think that's a problem. And
it's a problem itself because it's not an inquisitive
team,
mind,
right?
Yeah, it's not using your inquisitive mind.
If you're skeptical for the sake of, you're always going to say no to the possibility of evidence, then that's not a positive team member. That's somebody who's always going to harsh the vibe.
Aye,
and you need to be open-minded, because we're dealing with something that's not clear-cut.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to ask one more question, because I think the other ones I'm like, don't have to go through all of them. Do you ever feel scared on an investigation?
So, growing up through life, you go through a stage in teenage years, kid years, where you may be potentially scared of the dark. You may be potentially scared of the monster under your bed. You may have watched a scary movie that absolutely scared you. When somebody puts you in a room alone by yourself, and it's so dark that your mind starts doing that thing where it tries to make sense of your surroundings, and especially even if that surrounding is so quiet because of the way it's built, you get sensory deprived to the point where your brain starts going, well, that looks like a face, so let's just make it into a face.
Yeah.
Your brain does that way to try and trick you, because it's always looking for patterns of recognition.
Yep.
I don't think I can answer the question a lot, like if it's changed or not. It's just, I'm going to have to wait and see.
Yeah. It's kind of like me with remember the jail cell comment?
Yeah.
I hate investigating jails, especially the old Victorian style ones, because there's just something about being in a corridor with a door on each side that just running the whole way down that makes me go, this will be the one time I walk down there and I look in a room and there'll be somebody stood there.
Yeah, you don't like actually walking through the corridors.
Yeah.
And doors open. And they're all dark inside.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm not so keen. I quite fine walk through that whole corridor, because I'll be looking as we be like, what's in there. But being locked in a cell and being sensory deprived, my mind starts to wander. So I would say there's times when you get scared.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't think it's scared of the paranormal. It's scared because your body goes into a mode of, it's not quite fight or flight. It's quite like anything, what you're looking for could happen, and what you're going to do if it happens.
Yeah.
Like, what you're going to do if that door locks itself, and you full enter a horror movie with
Yeah.
ghosts,
Right,
you know,
right.
and you're the victim.
Yeah.
You're the first one.
We've got some dual questions, and I want to go through the ones that are specifically named by people because I think it'd be nice for us to answer those questions.
This is Joe questions for both of us.
Yeah. So I'll do the first one, start, then you can do the next one, start kind of thing. What has been your most scariest experience during a paranormal investigation? So for me, scariest, I mean, I don't think any have been necessarily scary. The fact that I've had those 2 audio experiences that you're aware of,
Yeah.
they didn't scare me at all in the moment because neither of the times did I then go, nah, I'm out here, I'm running out the room. It made me go, oh, okay. My guard went up,
Yeah.
but I wasn't scared. I think the scariest one was probably Menzies Castle, and it was up in the top floor. You've not done Menzies yet, but you'll do it, and it's great. But they've got like a sort of like attic room space, but I mean like the ceilings are probably as tall as this, maybe even taller.
Yeah.
And there's bats up there that fly about, right? But they'd set it up for a wedding, so they had chairs on each side of the room, running down with like a corridor in the middle. And I was sat up there on my own doing a solo, and you've seen the size of bats. No big, especially ones in Scotland. But I just hear the sound of what sounded like.
Have you seen every bat in Scotland? Like
I have, mate. I love bats. But it sounded like something wooden getting dragged across the floor.
like a chair.
Like a chair.
Yeah.
Personally, to me, it sounded like a chair. Because the only other thing in there that was wooden was a wooden whiskey barrel. Like a big, tall barrel.
And bats can't lift.
Yeah. They're not going to move that. So for me, I was like, it's not even a case of like what you would think of when something bumps something and it goes boom, boom.
It's a drag.
It was a dragging sound, and then I was just like, no. I think my camera had mucked up at that point, and I was like, you're gotta be kidding me. So I shouted to whoever was downstairs because there's a spiral staircase, and I was like, you got a walkie-talkie? And they're like, yeah, why? And I'm like, give me this walkie-talkie because I'm not sitting up here on my own. But I was on CCTV at the time, and as soon as I got the walkie-talkie turned on, base camp goes,
CCTV's back up.
they try to scare me on top of that as well, and I was like, man. But yeah, that was mine. It was just weird.
Yeah.
Like audible experience in the ear, fine, but actually the sound of something physically being moved in the room made me go, ooh.
I don't know what my scariest experience is. I still don't think I've had enough experience. I wouldn't pinpoint anything as feeling like overly scary.
Yeah.
Trying to maybe nearly falling down the stairs at that other jail. I keep forgetting the name of that other jail.
Oh, Inverary.
Inverary jail, yeah. Maybe nearly falling down the stairs there. Like they have the weirdest steps in the world because they're concrete steps, but at a time they have been worn down.
Aye.
So like no everyone is kind of uniform.
Level and even, aye.
And I think like I just misjudged a step and I nearly went flying down this spiral staircase that's quite steep.
Aye.
I think that's not a scary spooky. That's a scary like health and safety wise. We're like make sure that you're lifting your feet because of the camera cables sometimes. But yeah, I don't know. Scary would be probably the blow in the ear in Stirling,
which is this episode.
Because I think really that's only been my really
contact based paranormal
where
experience.
It was hard. Yeah, like it was so close to my ear that and I know we had similar. Mine was upstairs, yours was downstairs. You got me there, and I got me there, like somebody blowing.
Aye.
And there was nobody behind me. I don't really react to it too bad. I think I kind of go. And the
I've got the clip.
Really?
I've got the clip.
Okay,
you don't
I
hear,
think I don't react
you don't
bad
hear
to
the
it,
blow, but I've got the clip.
I will hold my judgment on it until I see the clip. But
what is your favourite location? What location has been your favourite?
Stirling Old Town Jail.
Yeah,
I don't know whether because first and we've been back,
and it's been good both times.
It's been good both times. Like
I haven't ever really solidified an opinion on this until probably the last couple of weeks, where I was like, Stirling Old Town Jail. I would give Lapwing Lodge
second place.
An almost equal footing.
It's second, in my opinion.
Well, we're going to do a double. We've got a double. We've got a double investigation at Lapwing in December.
So let's hope
back to back.
Yeah,
because we want to go in and try basically communicating with whatever's there, and then the next day go in and then start asking questions. Do you remember us?
Yeah.
Because usually it takes us a whole year to go
because
back.
if you're forgetful ghosts, we don't want anything
exactly.
to do with you. Like,
yeah,
you don't
got-
remember us.
But no, it's
Bring
just
back the
because
ghosts that we were speaking
we
to
take
yesterday.
a whole year to go back, and then we're like, "Do you remember me? I was here a year ago." Like the amount of people that come through these buildings. Like if I was a ghost, then
Especially looking for ghosts.
you'd be like, "Oh, here we go, another one." Which one's this? Is it WSPR? What's the acronym for this team? You know, so it's like I think it's going to be an interesting experience to see, especially after the Marco Polo stuff, if we can get that
Yeah,
kind
well,
of thing
as I
to
said,
go again.
you've reviewed the episode, and it would be
Yes.
good if Lapwing could come out before we go back to Lapwing, so that we could remind ourselves of what we experienced at Lapwing.
That's a pity because it's not going to air before then. I mean, I could technically put it out.
I just
right?
think
could put it
I
out.
think that the
I could put it out.
episode of where we're going
Would be
should
cool.
be coming out just before we go to the next place, so that we remind ourselves, because we went back to Stirling Old Town
Yeah.
Jail. We've done Stirling Old Town Jail. David Laszlo.
What?
David Laszlo.
What?
So the spirit that we were getting constantly through the Estes, who seemed to be called, well, obviously we thought we heard David Laszlo,
Yeah.
was getting to the point where, like, even some of the responses to the questions being asked
Yeah.
were spookily quite close.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, especially when we were like, right, we're about to leave, and he's gone, bye then.
Aye.
Yeah, or, you know, the Estes section
Aye.
is going, bye then.
Yeah.
And you're going, well, no, I'm going to stay
I'm
now.
gonna stay there.
You're not telling me what
Yeah.
to do. And he's saying, fuck off.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
those are, but we never done any repeat of that this year
Yeah.
because I completely forgot about how that was my first ever Estes session. So
Yeah.
I was more taken back by the experience than
Aye,
actually
aye.
remembering
Yeah.
evidence.
Adam, my son, asked, "What made you believe in ghosts?"
Well, I don't.
Yeah, true.
But I think I've got an open mind.
Yeah, I think it's we believe.
My
we
mum
believe
is
that
sensitive.
we believe that there's weird, unexplainable stuff. But for us, the actual manifestation of a ghost would be a physical, actual presence stood in the
Yeah.
room that makes you go, "I'm in danger." you know, like
I think if I went back in time,
yeah,
when I was a teenager, kind of growing up, I would say I definitely did believe in ghosts.
yeah,
I think a lot of that was based as well on my mum being a sensitive and being quite close to the kind of paranormal stuff, being involved in the spiritualist church and fully believing in the other side and
yeah,
tarot cards, runes, you know, palm readings, all that kind of stuff. I was surrounded by it, and you know, my mum for a lot of my life was like, "You are sensitive," and then as I was getting older, she was like, "You're the reason why you're not experiencing the same kind of things that you did when you were younger,
yeah,
is because you've shut that off,
Yeah.
and you've started to become more logical and trying finding reasons for it." So I would say back in the day, yeah, but no.
yeah. Some of the questions were really good as well. Like there was like, "Do you take inspiration from any other paranormal investigators, and if so, who?"
Sorry, I coughed during you saying that.
Do you take any inspiration from other paranormal investigators, and if so, who?
I mean, I grew up during Most Haunted,
Aye.
like UK TV Gold or whatever it was, that Living or something like that. I grew up watching Most
Yeah.
Haunted because, and it's not really like I liked their setup for their series. I liked their live events, which I'm getting to experience
I
now.
liked the live events. When I was a kid, I used to go onto my mom's computer and go onto their live events.
The live events for me.
I never got
were-
to really see much though because they were like too long. That you.
Oh
Just
no,
be
I'd
like,
stay up the whole time.
Aye.
Like I don't like I'd stay up the whole time and watch them religiously. And sometimes they would do like the 2-day events. And
Aye,
that.
which we would love to get to.
Yeah,
doing
like-
ourselves.
But I loved those events because you know it was entertainment.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's what this kind of is. It's also entertainment.
Yeah.
But yeah,
For me, I like Ghost Hunters, the TV show, because I feel like the professionalism, the way they go about it, is a lot better than other groups. There's a lot of very flashy, oh, this happened, that happened, like, oh, blow it up, like, everything's just like, right up there energy wise. And I've investigated with people like that, and I can tell you right now, like you said about the vibe bring down thing, when you have people that are there that everything is just max level 10, some bump, it's that's it.
That's guaranteed. Yeah.
It's just too much. But my favorite current, I would say, is Watcher, Shane Medeiros and Ryan Bagheera, because I just think it's entertaining. I mean, Shane's a wind up. I don't particularly think I don't know if I could investigate with someone that's that level of wind up. He's like a complete disbeliever.
Which is weird because I am a big wind up.
But
I think going to investigations though, I take it pretty serious.
Well, that's the difference. He doesn't.
Oh, right.
Whereas
okay.
Ryan, he's a believer, very scared on a lot of investigations.
So does that make him animated? And that
makes it entertaining? Is because he's genuinely.
Do you not think it would be good to have some people in our team who were full on believers? Who were maybe animated because
Because then I'd be going, okay, do I go in that jail cell on your own? But the problem is we all go into it very serious.
We are all really kind of sceptical. And there's only a couple of people who would maybe consider themselves somewhat sensitive. But we don't really have any full-on believers who think, like, the minute they hear something or see something or feel something, that it's just instant breakdown, that's a ghost. It could be somewhat entertaining.
We're getting more now in the, we're nearly a decade now. We're a decade in February, 10 years. We're getting to the point now where we're sort of starting to open up to the investigation styles of other people. Because it's, at the end of the day, as much as you might dislike it, it's like, if it works and there's a way to do it that's respectful, the location, the venue, the people hosting you, then, make it work. And it's interesting to see if other techniques work. Right. I might not be fully comfortable with the way that some people investigate, but we're trying our best now to open up a little bit of that potential and just be like, let's see if your style works. Let's see what we get. The one thing I can't stand, though, and I've seen it so many times from other people and teams that I've worked with, there seems to be this sort of like almost attitude from some people that want to go in and like square go a spirit. And they go in and they're like up here, level 10, and they're just like, they're calling the spirits out. They're wanting to fight them. They're threatening them, and I'm just like, I can't investigate in this because I don't want to go back and listen to the audio on this because all I'm going to hear is you shouting.
Somewhat cringy as well.
Yeah.
But I think there's merit in being sometimes antagonistic.
Antagonistic is different, yeah.
I think there's merit in that. I think...
especially
if you're pushing and there is something happening that can seem like you're getting a response when you're being antagonistic, but you're not getting a response when you're no. I think that there's some merit in being antagonistic sometimes, but within reason. Like you're not grabbing Finney or trying to Glasgow kiss nothing.
It's kind of like you said. Like you made a comment during the filming of this, and it's like with the Estes sessions. Sometimes you get a spirit who will be like you said, all right, bye. And then we were like, all right, well we're not going to leave then. Because we're just like, well, first off, we're getting evidence here potentially.
We're backing it up.
So we're going to keep going.
Yeah, we're backing it up.
And then you start getting responses.
But is it going to remain the same? Yeah. Are we going to get the same response back from Maxine, who's maybe listening in, and she might know that we've changed our tack to being like, okay, bye. And then so really the next response for the spirit should be, all right, bye. But actually we're going, well, no, we're not leaving. And then Maxine turns around and goes, no, leave, bolt. And you go, that's too much like coincidence. Yeah, again, Venn diagram of right smack bang in the middle.
Yeah. So as an explanation, I've done this before, but an explanation of the Estes session essentially is you get a handheld radio that can scan frequencies very quickly. The theory is you shouldn't, because of how fast it scans, be able to get full sentences because you're skipping through radio signals so quickly that you should just be moving on to different bands straight away. Like it'd be like jumping from one radio station to another. So you shouldn't have any way for the words coming out of the radio stations at all to match and create a sentence. So you're scanning very quickly, and the way that the Estes session's done is named after Estes, Colorado, which is where the Stanley Hotel is. It's the one that they filmed
Stanley Kubrick's The Shining.
The Shining in, yeah. So it's named after the area that hotel's in. You get noise-cancelling headphones. Yep. You just listen and you call out everything that audibly makes sense. Yeah. It doesn't matter what it is. You just call it out. The other investigators could go in another room. They could sit behind you, blindfold yourself. You should not be able to hear the questions they're asking. Let them ask the questions, and then you just keep shouting things out. And I think it's one of those ones where I always hated working with the spirit box. I was always like, it's pure rubbish. It's a load of rubbish. I never believed in it until we started doing it the Estes way, because for me, I was like, if you're sitting with this radio and you're going, right, Spirit, what's your name? Your brain's now counting down and going through an alphabet of names. You hear something, you go, oh, it said Jim. But your brain's now counting down, going, oh, well, my next response I want to hear.
Oh, right. So you're thinking because you asked the question, your brain is automatically picking out a word that sounds like it.
Yes.
Right, okay.
So I never liked the
So
spirit
if it's
box.
like, Colonel, and you're going, that's a Jim.
Aye. So I never liked the spirit box because to me, I was just like, there's too much a human element of you wanting that response. Different with the
Like a
Estes.
Ouija board.
Yeah. You essentially with the Estes, you're using the other person with the headphones on essentially as like a conduit to you ask the question, they can't hear what you've just asked, and if you're going, what's your name, and suddenly they go, Jim, you're like, okay.
All right,
and you're
Jim.
just like, what did you work as? And then you hear lumberjack, and you're just like, all right.
This is a bit too coincidental.
Yeah, it's too coincidental, and when it lines up, it's nice.
That's the thing that gets difficult to explain.
Yeah.
As somebody who's skeptical, that when things start lining up, and that's when it's like, right, okay. I mean, as somebody who's took part in an Estes session and at first was a bit skeptical about it, the absolute experience that it is crazy. And it's one of my favourite things that we do to kind of gather evidence. And even though anybody could probably be like, 90% of the time you don't get anything reliable back, the sensory deprivation that you experience when doing an Estes session, you think that people have left the room.
Aye.
You think that nobody's around. You think that they've stopped asking questions, and you're just saying random words.
Yep.
Because you're hearing random words, and you're going, "This makes no sense." Like the last word I say was "bye bye," and then the next word I'm saying is 42.
Aye.
Like, what are they asking?
Aye.
And then
Aye.
if it lines up.
It's too
coincidental.
If it doesn't line up, it's fair enough. Like it's an experimental thing, and like 100%. Like there's so many times when I do it where I've got my hat down on my eyes, and I'll open my eyes though, and I'll be looking at the floor just to see if I can still see anyone's feet. Every time I do an Estes, I'm always like, they're gonna mess with me and leave and I'm just
see
gonna
how long
here.
See how long you go through the Estes session. Would be like the best prank in the world. You're just sitting in one room going, John. 42.
The lapwing Estes session was a really, really interesting one.
That was the group.
Estes session. That was a really interesting one. Once you see that episode, it was quite interesting. Like,
subscribe on our Patreon.
Subscribe to our YouTube. That's where it'll be. So we'll go over the clips now because there's a lot of clips, but they're very short. And we'll just go through it. So this one's just a quite simple, So yeah, in that moment there was just like, I think this was your first, this has been your first investigation. We started getting a lot of those kind of tap noises in the room when we were in the room as a group. And the way that we usually do these events is we'll completely separate people on other ends of the building to do our best. I mean, they're expensive events, so we have to have as many members as we can bring to try and make it feel valuable, but we'll usually try and completely separate our ends of the building. So that was kind of the first part of the night.
That was the first thing that you came by, that there was evidential thing, and that we appeared in the clip together, and you were like, let's put that in, and it's a clip tap.
This one, I put it as a weird vocal. We'll play it and we'll see if we can hear it. Yeah, I couldn't explain that noise. Every time I've listened to it, I'm just like, it doesn't make any sense vocally because Maxine's talking to you in that moment, and you just hear that's
kind of strange.
This one I just put in because
I can see the name of it. So I think I knew you were there.
I know that. I knew it was him, but there was a dream in there.
Yeah, you were just like, I knew it was him, but it was the bird. So good. So this is just you hearing some stuff.
Even the smallest of noise will let me know that you're here. Okay.
What was that? Did you get a noise?
She's like, what was that?
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
me
to be
and
fair,
that's me in the
touching the
corner
wall.
here and stuff that
Aye.
it's hard for me to explain.
she, I mean, we'll see in the next clip. She then goes into the same corner,
Oh,
and
really?
even she's like, "No," and she hears the same thing. But then at one point, she sat there and she's like, "No, that time it was in front of me." And I think this might be the room with the chains on the floor,
I can't remember.
potentially. We'll jump at the next one, and I'll. Yeah.
What the fuck was that?
What was that? Well, I heard
that
it at
you?
the same time.
Wasn't me.
I'm going to move back into that corner because as soon as I squish myself up,
This is
Yeah.
another clip, by the way.
Yeah, I'll kind of come back
oh,
a
it was
wee
right
bit.
in front of me that time. Nope. Nope.
So yeah, that room just had a lot of like weird.
Yeah, which is weird because when we went back this year, we never really done that room at all.
Yeah,
It's because Stirling Old Town Jail has so much that we want to collect different
Yeah.
things like from different areas, and it just been that the first time we were there, the cells were just hitting
Yeah.
for at least interaction,
yeah,
whether it be auditory, whether it be
Yeah.
visual. We were getting stuff, and we put a lot of our focus in that.
yeah.
Like,
But I mean, to be fair, it's like I said, like when we go back to Stirling Jail next time, unless you look at the original blueprints of the jail, you won't know that the warden's office was the male's bathroom.
yeah.
And I'm like, listen, it's going to look weird on the episode investigating the male's bathroom, but if it was the warden's office, you should still technically try and investigate in case there's stuff that goes on in there.
Yeah,
Whereas
I
we
suppose-
focused this time a lot on that central room, but that's because every time we've went there, we've never bothered with the central room. But then with this investigation, a lot of the experiences were upstairs, and we don't usually get a lot of experiences upstairs, so it kind of just shifts around the building depending on when you go.
Yeah, I think we went back this year, but we had a problem with the lights, right? We couldn't get all the lights off.
Yeah, they couldn't turn them off.
Yeah. And it was quite windy as well.
Aye, it's windy.
It
every
was
single time we
really
go.
windy.
Jump into the next clip. Did you hear it?
No. Oh yeah, actually, really, yeah,
Yeah.
that's quite creepy.
Yeah.
Was that Get Out? And I mean, yet again, brain is trying to pick up patterns of recognition. Was it Get Out? It sounded like to me like Get Out.
It might have been. I might have even when I originally reviewed it had put it as like Get Out, but I just put woman's voice because later when we were on this step, when Maxine's doing the Estes, me and you both go, "There's a woman talking," and it's coming from like behind you.
Can
So-
you go back again?
Mhm.
I'm
It sounds like Get Out.
It does.
It sounds like Get
It's
Out.
we
gonna play it
agree
one
on
more time, yeah.
an audio thing here. Get Out.
Yeah, it sounds like it. It's a very strong accent, isn't
It
it?
sounds English.
Aye. Yeah. Whew. We'll check the next one.
I kind of want a nod or a shaking the head. Do you hear that? You hear Get Out?
Yeah. Yeah. That's one I put spirit box noise because I wasn't too sure if I was just picking up that, you know, when something blips through the spirit box in the headphones, I was like, maybe the microphone's picking up that, but
No, that's the Estes.
yeah, that's the spirit box.
Yeah.
I'm saying, yeah, but I just put that as
100%
spirit box
Estes,
noise.
yeah.
But that's kind of the good thing about this is
I
me and
have
you can sit
nightmares
down.
about that noise sometimes.
No, it's not that. There's like, if you listen to it, there's like a. You hear the.
I think it's the change in the frequencies probably. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's weird.
What we got next? Voice or spirit box? Yeah, did you hear it? The weird.
But the problem is that you can't hear a voice at the same time as hearing the static.
Yeah.
Because it cuts. It cuts for like that split second. I think you need
Yeah.
to play that again.
So we've got voice or spirit box. I don't think that. Can you hear it? It's an almost like gravelly voice. It's about a second in. right there.
Yeah, and I can hear the spirit box at the same time.
Yeah. So, but there's more than one time where that kind of breathy voice comes through. And I'm
Was
like,
the next
"Ooh."
clip that you're going to play the one that we just listened to? Or is this someone that we've not heard before?
This one we haven't heard before.
Right. Okay. I think. Is that me? Like, yet again, my brain just instantly goes to trying to find logical reasons, and I'm thinking, is that me going?
It sounds very far away though. Like it almost like feels like it reverberates in the room.
Well, the room is set up for that. It's a circle room.
Yeah.
I mean, play it one more time. That's kind of creepy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I suppose any kind of
But
breath.
that sounds similar to the thing from the previous clip as well. It sounds quite breathy, like a. We'll try the next one. So I've got voice for this one. Did you hear it there at the beginning?
Impossible. That's what I hear.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. For me, it was weird. I thought it said like Kirsty.
Oh God.
Yeah, one of our team members is called Kirsty, but to
Yeah.
me, the way my brain picks it up audibly is like
I just
Kirsty,
think
and I was
it's
just like, ooh, okay. But it sounds like a woman's voice to me.
To me, it sounded like impossible. But yeah, again, brain trying to find something that's recognizable.
So here's another one. Oh, what? Don't know why that's cut that way. That's weird.
I know why it's cut
weird.
that way because you cut it that way.
Nah. Right, so this one's called Kid's Voice, so
Oh,
we're listening for a kid's voice.
and here, kind of underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, when it's just like wee noises like that, it's hard to kind of pick that out and go, that sounds like
Yeah.
because that could be somebody downstairs.
4 floors?
opening I
4
mean,
floors?
yeah, it's an old building.
4 floors?
It's an old building. It's late at
Aye.
night. Noise travels far.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm just saying, like, if I'm looking for a reason,
Yep.
I'm not trying to say naysay it for the sake of naysaying
Aye.
it. I'm just saying if I'm looking for something to make
Yeah.
it right in my brain.
I've marked this one as women talking. Or women talking.
Plural.
It's right at the beginning.
Yeah, again sounds like it's coming in for the spirit box, but
Yeah. So, yeah, just that.
when?
What?
I seen the name of the next one.
I put it as touch, but it'll be the breath.
Oh right, okay.
But you mentioned that's because you've mentioned feeling like something touched you. I'm pretty sure. So I'll play it and.
Oh my god.
So I think there was a potential.
This seems like some sort of creative freedom that's going on here, where like it's cut. Is that no when the is in my ear?
I
And
think
get a
it might have
fright,
been
like,
that, but I
don't-
think you
yeah.
described it in the moment of feeling like something touched your ear.
No, surely I described it as...
You could go through the episode. It should be in the episode.
Yeah, I think...
I obviously I feel like I must have to cut these a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Like my previous cuts were they were longer. But yeah, that I think's the moment where
I don't think I make a big deal of it. Like I say, I feel like I got a breath.
Yeah,
in
it
my
wasn't
ear.
until I got off the headset that you were just like, hey, listen, that was
Was that when you were on the headset?
aye,
Oh, really?
aye. So you were at the door.
So
of the
yeah,
camera.
that clip's way too long.
Asking for noise and then tap happens was.
Come on, David. Shows you're a big man.
The noise in the
Yeah.
background.
Did you make a noise? Because we couldn't hear it.
So it was
and
funny
a
that.
response at the same time. It's
Yeah, it was funny that I'm like, oh, did you make a noise because we couldn't hear it? But then in the background, I was like, oh, actually, you can hear quite a distinct.
but we don't respond to it.
Yeah.
There, which is kind of weird.
Yeah,
But that's David.
aye. David
That's what I'm
Lasso.
saying. We didn't call back to that at all this year.
Yeah. Woman says stop is what I've marked this one as. It's in the middle. Do you hear it at the beginning?
It's like tiny. It's like a stop.
Yeah.
I think when you listen to it maybe 10 times, you'll eventually start hearing stop. But it's
Yeah.
so quick.
Yeah. It would
How are
obviously.
you picking all these up when you're doing the review? You just
I
listen
mean,
for these.
you are
small-
literally sitting there just listening for anything in the moment. I mean,
Dan will have a
if
list of
none of us are
questions for you.
talking in this moment, then I'm just like, right, I'm just listening for any audio that comes in that is not it's clearly not one of us talking. Maxine's the only woman there, so any female voices that we're hearing are either, like you said, we are picking up something completely from the other side of the building, which is all the way down 4 floors,
Yeah.
or
Do you
it's picking up someone else there.
do you have any other ones that you really want to show? Because I remember I had some questions for you.
Yeah, I'll make them quick. So I put this one as whispering.
I don't hear it. The problem is when you say whispering, the Estes sounds.
Do you hear it at the beginning if you listen? It's because you've got the Estes static constantly happening, but that's the problem when you're reviewing this stuff is you've got to sit there and pick out the noise of the. The only way to get around that would be to get better headphones that will dull out that sort of that noise. But I'm just listening for anything that audibly sounds vocal, and for
sounds
me I was
different
like,
to what
yeah,
it should be.
voiced after I said I think.
Mental.
You think I'm mental?
So it's like it's like so when Maxine says mental and I go, there's a voice that comes in and I go, oh, do you think I'm mental?
You think I'm mental?
Yeah, I hear it slightly. Yeah.
Women talking and then I hear it.
Just like I thought. I'll talk.
No action.
Asshole.
Like it's like, do you hear the?
Are you asking me? Are you hearing that?
No, I asked you after listen. Do you hear the little, that little vocal
Yeah,
tone?
again, I can't even hear here. Oh yeah, slight.
I can't hear it, and then you go, oh, there it is. Yeah, it's literally just before I say it. Weird voice.
Yeah, I hear that one clear as
Yeah.
day. But I know this is going to sound weird, and what I'm going to point it out to what it sounds like. But to me, it sounds like "Can't Get Out."
Can't get out.
Play it again and see if me saying the words make your brain pick it up like that.
Can't something, yeah.
Can't get out here.
Yeah.
That's just.
I'm
yeah,
not going to
again,
go
it's like,
through.
Is it a prison?
I'm not going to go through them all because, like, there's one called hair touch, and in that moment we had been asking the question if one of us could get touched, and then I was like, oh, it feels like something's playing with my hair.
Yeah.
Then you used the thermal camera and said the side of my head looked colder.
Was darker, which means colder. Yeah.
Then there's a couple other wee things like the smell fire one was just weird because Maxine in Esther's session was like, run, and she's like, both of us, and she's like, I hear a scream. She's like, I hear a scream again, and then I went, I can smell fire, and then I just kind of like cued that all in and went, that's kind of weird because I'm like, if you were hearing people saying run and screaming,
I don't think we put that together on the day.
and I didn't put it together, and then I was just like, that's weird. I smell.
So on
I
the
smell
review
fire.
of it, you're like smelling fire after she's saying all these things.
Yeah,
somewhat
because actually,
coincidental.
two of the other things she said before it was, she's like, I hear gunshots, and she's like, I hear gunshots again, and then she goes like, run, and then she's like, both of us screaming,
and then she says, I
screaming,
hear screaming,
and then
yeah.
I was like, I hear fire, I smell fire.
You smell fire.
And I was like, that's weird.
That's kind of a weird thing all mixed
and then
together.
I got one here, two more just quickly. The weird vocal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then this one I marked as Thomas.
Have to.
I marked this one as Thomas. Oh, why is it so quick? Come on.
Does sound like Thomas. Yeah, I can see how you could definitely think that sounds like Thomas.
Yeah, and that's a weird voice. It's a weird voice.
I
I think by the end of that,
kind of female though.
yeah, by the end of the night, I think Maxine was the only female there because the entire team had left. If you remember, when we were at Stirling Jail, majority had went home early because they were all exhausted. So she was the only female there.
Right, so I've got some questions for you.
Cool.
Excellent. So question number 1, what kind of things do you prepare or plan when inducting someone into the team, and do you feel nervous about it?
I feel nervous because we've had bad experiences in the past of people joining, which you're aware of.
Me
But-
personally.
You personally. But no, I think I'm more open to it now because you've been a positive experience, and then obviously you've got a couple of people coming out. I've been passing the mantle to folk and saying, listen, if you want to come out, join us. We've put recruitment posts up on Facebook. If you're interested, get involved. What do I plan? I should probably plan a little bit more. I think the only thing you really can do is just make sure when the person comes to be hospitable, explain the rules, explain the sort of guidelines of the group. Obviously, everything we do is filmed, so that's another big one. You have to be comfortable to be on camera. You have to be comfortable for this stuff to go online.
Yeah.
For sustainability as a group, we need to make money. To make money, we have to make content. It's as simple as that. It pays for what we do. But yeah, I think just making sure that the person is taken around the building by someone that's experienced, that's going to show them the ropes.
Question number 2, as an organizer, what advice would you give to anyone looking to take part in something like this?
To organise it or to take part?
I think when I think this is one of my questions, but I think when I was writing this, I meant like along the lines of what advice would you give to anybody who's looking to join a group that might be even similar to this? Like,
I think just message. As someone asked me this question actually on TikTok, they're from Carlisle, so I was like, well, we do stuff down at the borders. If you're interested, just pop us a message at some point. And if there's an event you can make it. I think just message. I think there's probably smaller groups that do this, more like TikTok-y, that it'll be like a group of friends probably going out, kind of like the urban exploration stuff.
Yeah.
People that just go out because they enjoy doing it. Whereas we are an organisation with a board and everything, and we have a lot of oversight and stuff like that. So
would you advise somebody to go to a public event first before joining something like this? If they're
I think I haven't personally ever done public events, even though the first ghost hunt I ever did was technically a public event, but I was the only person who bought a ticket out with the group of the actual like team.
right, okay.
So that was all right because I just went in with the team.
With a team, yeah.
But public events I would probably avoid because, as you know, we don't do them. Most public events, when I hear from people, it's like 30 to 50 members of the public. I don't think you can do an investigation. I don't think that's ghost hunting, in my opinion. That is purely entertainment. There is no physical way that you can document anything. If you want to investigate, join a team. If you want to experience a spooky building in the dark, go to a public event. I think that's the best way to divide it.
Okay, what do you find most rewarding about bringing new members into the group?
New people. So that's a start. I like socializing. I like meeting new people. I think that's good. I think it's also nice because you can kind of bring a benefit to people's lives, because getting out and doing these events has been a major mental health boost for everybody in this team since COVID. And I think that's kind of the main aspect of it, is just it gets people out and you might learn new skills at the same time. And if it takes you somewhere in life, awesome.
Okay. What are some of the biggest challenges you face when organising a team of 10 or 20 for an investigation?
Placement. It's trying to make sure, especially because our events we all have to pay for. If you're taking 10 people out and you're talking a £500 event and it's 50 quid a head, you want to try and make it worth everyone's time. When you have a 6-hour investigation, you're like, right, how much time can we realistically get out with smoke breaks, with a lunch break, because we all have a snack break in the middle because it gets exhausting. And I'm like, trying to manage that time where I feel like everyone's walked away satisfied, going, that was money well spent, is very difficult. Which is why if you could get smaller events but more events, it might make more sense, but it's just the cost. It's trying to make sure it feels satisfying for everybody that goes.
And last thing, that I suppose that question kind of leads into this. So, with the cost and trying to keep things fresh, how do you keep things interesting for members who've already been on a few investigations, maybe specifically even to the same place?
First, trying to find new venues. New venues are always a great one. Everybody's always excited if we get a new venue. I mean, new venues are great. If you have a venue and you want us to investigate it, let us know. And yeah, it's just, I mean, now we're at the point where financially we're trying our best to buy new equipment, more visually stimulating equipment, more REM pods, things like that, because I think when you go around doing it the way that I do it, which is constantly behind a camera, it's fun for me. That's the part I enjoy, but that doesn't mean everybody in the team enjoys that same type of investigation. For some people, they want to be interactive with a device, so it's trying to make sure that they can have that interactive experience. That's, I think, the only way you can really keep it fresh. The other options are things like, could you do an overnight booking to a venue? You know, like maybe
Like
trying
a different
to
style of
of
venue.
investigation. Traditionally, we do 6 hours. If we could do an overnight, pretty much everybody in our team's always been like, "Oh, I'm down for it." We did one location where we were there for 5 days, split over 2 separate years, 3 days and 2 days. Not a very good venue, but the team enjoyed it, and I think it's just one of those. It almost feels like a little holiday.
It was different.
It was different.
Yeah.
And trying to get that is difficult because, unfortunately, a lot of venues, when you're saying an overnight, even though you're there till like 2 a.m, and it doesn't really put them out to let you stay there till like, say, 8 a.m, where you could all sleep for a bit, the price goes almost quadruple.
Yeah.
Just for that staying over experience. And I don't particularly think that's fair, because unless it's a venue that's going to be doing, I don't know, it's a museum or something that has to open the next day, I can completely understand you're not going to let people stay. But there's a lot of venues where there is potential, but it's the staffing, which I then understand. You have to have someone there that could do it. So you are paying for that staff member, but the price quadrupling for an extra like 6 hours of time
doesn't make it cost effective for us.
So it's impossible unless we get the funding that we can do an event that's over £1,000. It's impossible.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think that was the last of them.
Well, thank you for asking the questions. So that's it for this episode of the podcast. Thank you for joining me.
No worries. I enjoyed it.
You can enjoy me in some more of them because I've got loads to film. Check us out on social media, guys. We'll include a LinkTree on this video and pretty much the links to all the socials. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok. We also live stream. We live stream usually on Facebook and Twitch, so you can find us on Twitch as well. And as I said, this stuff will go up on YouTube, including our full-length episodes and then all of our shorts. And then we also upload this as an audio format to Spotify if you don't want to watch the video format. And yeah, check
how
us
would
out.
you know, like, want to look at our beautiful faces?
Yep. Although Spotify, I'm pretty sure, does video
Does it?
podcast now,
Oh,
apparently.
yeah, it does. Yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot about
So
that.
there you go.
Actually.
It might be up there as a
Watch
video
us on
format too.
Spotify.
Aye.
Watch us on
And,
YouTube.
Yeah. And that's it for the podcast. Thanks for watching, guys, and you can catch us in the next one.